What round they rise to find that?
You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park, the ponytail. And I'm the one who ain't got no training partner. I don't think so. You seem to have it all figured out when you're playing midget.
60 G's, baby!
Dust of Shakedown begins right now. What's happening, Fight Week Show fans, Fight Week Show people, them? Big up to everybody that's been waiting in the chat, man. Salute to every single one of you. Salute to Yao. Kick him in the head. We got him in the house over here. We got the Rambling Dad. We got the Rambling Dad podcast here. We got Adrian Sanchez. How are you doing, people? Adrian, how are you doing? Let's start with you, man. I know you've been ill. You're just recovering. You're back in the game. How are you feeling, man?
Yeah, man. I'm good. I'm back. I'm glad to be back on the podcast with you guys. Like you said, I was feeling ill the last 2 weeks. I know you've been in touch with me, trying to get me on here, so I'm glad to be here. Feeling much better. Getting back into the swing of things with training again, and yeah, good all around. Feeling good, feeling happy, and yeah, great.
Yeah, man. Good to have you, man. Yao, we done anything on your channel yesterday, but the weigh-ins was today. How's everything? What's the atmosphere like over there? How you feeling, my bro?
I'm feeling excited. You know, the weigh-ins are always electric. The weigh-ins are where you can really see how the fight night is gonna go. And these weigh-ins, like most of the weigh-ins, came through, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's fights. It's just such an exciting card. It's just such an exciting card. So yeah, all EFC. I'm all EFC this week. Let's get it. Let's go.
And Rambling Dad himself, bro. This man is a busy guy. You know what I mean? At work, at home, family away. Family just came back. How's everything feeling for you over there, my guy?
Oh, God, brother. Like you said it. Yeah, I mean, nice 10-hour shift today. Fucking pretty heavy. And then come home, dad life, and just chilling now. Managed to get the little one down an hour ago. So just been chilling, waiting to get on the show, son.
Nice.
And Adrian, I just want to say, bro, obviously you've been sick the last couple of weeks, but see when you never turned up, all of us dog walking you, bro. Like,
don't believe everything you hear in the media, bro. Don't believe everything you hear in the media.
Don't worry, I haven't been following much of the media anyway, bro.
Don't believe everything you hear in the media. Oh yeah, and big up to everybody that's live with us right now. Make sure if you're new, you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you show you some love. Engage in the chat, people. If you're watching us on other platforms as well, make sure that you're coming over to YouTube. That's the way you help the channel. Subscribe to the Rambling Dad. Subscribe to Head Kick Pod. Kick him in the head. And the Fight Week Show, people. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're following Adrian Sanchez as well on his socials. I'll have it in the description below, people. Now, the first topic that Leroy has put together for us, and big up Leroy. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna be doing that spot. Look, Leroy done already told us we can't do it because YouTube whooping at us right now, man. So we need to be good. We need to be good for YouTube. But the first video on the docket today, man, that we're all gonna go around the table and talk about is this one right here. Let's pin the clip.
In a series of now deleted posts on X, Conor McGregor retweeted a clip of Donald Trump announcing Khabib Nurmagomedov as his favorite fighter. McGregor captured the post with a scathing review of the presidential candidate.
Well, I think Khabib, I mean, how good is he? Do you know who Khabib is? Khabib was 29, 28 and 0, and then his father died and he stopped. But I think he never lost. I don't think he ever lost a round. He fought many times. He never lost a round. And I thought he was I got to meet him at a fight 2 fights ago because I walk in with Dana.
Campaign ending decision. A smelly, fat mountain monkey from the inbred mountains of Dagestan is your favorite UFC fighter. Wow, abysmal.
Michael Chandler was quick to take this opportunity to call out McGregor for withdrawing from UFC 303. The two began going back and forth in quick succession.
Bro, he doesn't even know who the you are. He probably thinks you're a little broke begging asswipe.
Here's the deal. I beat your ass in December. I bet my entire career on it. End the year backflipping over your lifeless body on the canvas. Many X users criticized the Notorious for his Trump-related post. Chandler later retweeted a reply from Conor stating that the fight was off.
Whoa, okay, well, bro. Swapped out handy at Blessed MMA. What you at December? The real BMF, you know?
What do you guys think? Will we ever see Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler? Do we ever see Conor compete again? Or did Michael Chandler waste 2 years of his prime chasing a red panty night?
Bro, number one, before we go around the table, man. What a little surprise there with the voice of the rambling dad doing the Lord's work back there, man. You know what I mean? Big up yourself, man. I like that.
We were getting lazy with it, bro. That's what that was. A message me. He was like,
I like that, man. You know what I mean? Nice little surprise that we got there on the voiceover, man. Big up yourself, bro. We're not gonna come to it because you did the story. I'll get your thoughts on that later on. But let me come to Yao with this whole thing with Chandler McGregor. Obviously, we heard the glowing greetings that Trump put down for Khabib, man. You know that it made my heart. You know what I mean? My heart was melting as Trump was talking about Khabib right there, right? But Conor, obviously, it kind of maybe they say Khabib took a round off. Conor took a round from Khabib. Who cares? The fight was finished. But what do you make of the whole back and forth with Chandler and Conor? Because we ain't seen a fight. And now he's talking to Holloway.
You know, I think at least I am not sure about everyone else. Forget that Trump is a huge MMA fan. He is at a lot of UFC events. And I forget that he literally meets the fighters. They all come up to him. He gets his own walkout. We forget this. So obviously he has a favorite fighter, and it just so happens to be your favorite fighter, Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov. Now, with regards to McGregor's response to Trump, you know, and you guys know this, I'm a bit of a Conor fan, because, you know, he's a great keyboard warrior at this point. You know, he's very, very entertaining on the keyboard.
Since when? 2016.
You know? And double champ, but first one. But in this instance, yes, I agree with you. I think Chandler's wasted 2 years of his life chasing the red panty night, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like this fight's going to happen. Will McGregor fight again? Right now, we just really can't tell if he's going to fight again. But the fact that he's so vocal on tweets with Trump just shows us that he's not really looking for the fight with Chandler. He's just looking to be Conor McGregor, which is, you know, Conor McGregor. So yeah, let's see if he does. Actually, I don't think he will. I don't think he will fight Chandler. I think, unfortunately, the TUF season is now missing its finishing fight. But okay, go Trump. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, the one thing we know about Trump is he got Twitter fingers too. And he will clap back. We you know what I mean? Trump, one of those guys, like, you know what I mean? You say something to him, you try and talk spicy, you know, you get one back from Trump. But what, Adrian? This fight with Chandler, we spoke about it at length for quite some time. It's not happened. Chandler kept putting up fights. He was getting offered fights. He was turning them down, waiting for Conor McGregor while Conor McGregor was busy making movies and club appearances and God knows what else, right?
Yeah.
It's
man, you know,
does Chandler get that time back as a fighter? Because you know yourself, inactivity.
I know,
chasing that big bag when you could have got some fights in the way, out of the way. Sorry.
Yeah, you know, it's stupid. It's like McGregor. I was thinking about it now while I was talking. He's been crying wolf for the past like 2, 3, I don't know how long, 2 years. And I mean, and Chandler, he was so gullible. Like I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. He's messing around too much. Conor's like not focused on it. He's busy with other things, making appearances here. Like they say, he's doing too many side quests to be focusing on the main story. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, man. It's like it doesn't really have my attention anymore because, like I said, he's crying wolf. So I'm just like, whatever. I'll believe it when it happens. Like, you know, but I don't think it's going to.
Like,
So it's
Dave,
yeah. Too bad for Chandler though. Like, I mean, he held on for too long. I wouldn't have held on for more than a year. I would have given it some time, but 2 years. No, I would, like you say, get another fight someone else. You could have. I saw a comment. Someone said he could have fought for contendership for the belt again within that period of time. But you know, it just shows that maybe he's also a little bit money hungry. You know,
I mean,
he's coming to the end of his career.
Even when you say money hungry, the fight that he's been offered, he could have made that money that he would have made from that Conor fight. That's how crazy he is, right? And this Conor
within that space, within that period of time,
anything.
Yeah,
I don't.
But I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't get it, man. Magdalene, let me come to you, Magdalene. The thing here with Chandler now, because at this point, I'm thinking the moment Shevchenko fight and Grasso fight happens, being the coaches that fought at the tough, like the tougher that that's just been going on. If those two fight before Conor even sees Chandler, that fight should be dead and buried, because that's a whole season of tough where the coaches have now fought. What's your take? That fight should be dead and buried. And I don't think Holloway should be giving him any kind of airwaves neither. But that's
not at all. I mean, Holloway's now like set in for fighting Ilia Topuria. He's not going anywhere near Conor anytime soon, like at all. And again, like even internet, that is going to be an amazing fight. I can't wait. Like if Max manages to like get back the featherweight title as well as retain the BMF. There's some super fights to get made for Max Holloway leading into 2025. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be wild. But yeah, like you say, like if the current tough coaches end up fighting before the previous tough coaches, then mate, forget about it. Yeah, I mean, forget about it. It's done. Like, it's gonzo. Like, there's absolutely no reason for them to fight anymore. And like you say, I mean, yeah, Mike could have made the money over the time that he's been waiting for this fight to turn up. But that's like given that everything went smooth and he never came out of any injuries, and that man always comes out of a bloody war too. So how many fights would he have had in the last couple of years? Maybe 2, maybe 3. Would he have made the red panty night money? I'm not too sure. It probably would have been a good chunk. And like Rayo said, getting towards the end of retirement, and he's just thinking about millies to see him off into the sunset and think about whatever he's going to do after this.
No, one Conor fight and you set for life.
Madly enough, that's still the case, even after all these years of being out. Yeah, I mean,
he's still that money cow.
He's still there, but to just leave. I mean, there's a lot of fighters that are chasing Conor. Like Oliveira wants to fight him. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of good fighters, top fighters that should be talking about chasing the title again in the top 5, in the top 10s. That maybe only 2 fights could get them in title contendership. Even champions like Ilia Topuria get on the mic and they calling Conor out. It's mad. I don't understand it. Like, it's wild to me, Yao. It's crazy.
I think Max was Conor was Max's 4th, 5th fight in the UFC, something like that. And he was the only guy at the time to take him the full 3 rounds. He lost the fight. Yeah, he did get cracked a few times, I mean, but obviously never got chinned and went the distance, and he did get beat. That would be a complete different fight against Max Holloway and Conor McGregor now as well. And I think Max would take him. I really do at this point.
Oh, yeah. I agree. 100%.
I mean, we're never seeing Conor back down at featherweight, and that was his ideal weight class. Like, we're never seeing him back down there again. Like, we're never going to see him lower than lightweight at this point.
What about this stylistically? Because I saw this clip on the internet a few days ago, but it's probably been out for a while. And it was on O'Malley and Temba show, and he was talking about he could smack Conor around. He could put the work on Conor.
I reckon
he reckons he got better. He said he reckon he got better footwork than him. Striking is better. It's smoother. It's crisper. And he's not saying he can knock him out in the one. He also mentioned that, and he said, "I'm not saying I got like a 1-punch knockout for him." But by the time I put the accumulation on him, I'll find the opening and I'll put that guy away. He was super confident about it as well. I don't know what you think, like Yao and Adrian, from a fighting perspective, if you really do see that as a because I keep thinking to myself, Topira, you're a smaller. Like, there's no way you get into 170 in a good amount of time to fight Conor. And by the time you're ready, Conor probably won't be able to make 170 anyways. You know what I mean? The way he's going, the trajectory he's going. So I don't know what you guys think, man. Maybe it's just talk and they're just talking.
Yeah, I think they're definitely just talking. If you look at it, Conor being the money fight for everyone is just talk. There's no one that's actually going to fight him at this point. And even if they do, will it still be the money fight? I don't think so. We've got Topuria, who's a champion, who's calling out Conor. It doesn't make sense. I think everyone is jumping onto the keyboard warrior bandwagon because it does bring numbers, it does bring interest, it does bring us, like you said, talking about it, which is what they want, which is what they need. So I think right now he's become the name to talk about in order for you to get some attention. We've got Joaquin Buckley calling him out. I mean, sure, anyone can call out Conor and we will talk about you. So that's really what it is at this point, is fighters are keeping him in their mouths, and he's clearly now keeping himself in their mouths to stay relevant. That's really what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Adrian,
100%.
Adrian,
they're clout chasers, man. They just want to be mentioned in the same tweet as Conor McGregor and be mentioned in the same article as Conor McGregor. You know, that's all they want. And it's like, oh, the UFC champion Conor McGregor. It's like they're clout chasers, man. And like Yao says, he's the money fight, but he's also the popularity fight as well. I mean, you fight him, and look what happened to Nate. Like the guys that he fought, Nate Diaz. Like, you know, he was sorted after it. So it's just a popularity thing at the end of the day, man. That's
man. You know what?
Trying to, like you said, jump on the bandwagon.
Hey, Oriel, you know what? Yeah,
he's a publicity stunt now, Conor McGregor. He's nothing more than a publicity stunt.
Something's just popped in my mind, Adrian.
What's that?
When you win your next fight, I want you to call out Conor McGregor on the mic.
How
about that? Maybe. So we can talk about you calling out Conor McGregor, getting the news, brother. You know, everybody else is doing it. You know what I mean? Getting the news, man. Let the media talk.
You never know, it, bro. You
Don't
never know. I might end up
fighting
the guy. Could end up fighting the guy when I get my payday.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean? Get your red
No. It's nice to dream. It's nice to dream. It's nice to talk nonsense.
Hey, it's not nonsense, bro. You can make it happen. That's what Conor did. You know what I mean? He talked about all.
Hey, listen, Conor will probably reply to you and clap back, bro. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, who the fuck is this guy?
The chances of actually replying.
I thought that's what you were going to say there. Or...
Imagine that.
That'd be amazing. You get that tweet printed and put on the fucking wall. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
You see that big blue tick next to the tweet there, and you're like,
yeah, boom.
Yeah, man. Hey, you people, if you're liking the video so far, make sure you're hitting the like button. Drive the like button up, people. Make sure you're showing love to all the channels that are on here, and make sure you're following Adrian Sanchez so Conor McGregor can know who the fuck he is. Hey, people, talk about another guy that don't like that puts his name in everybody's mouth. Let's get the clip right here.
Speaking to Kevin Ioli this past weekend, Dana White reiterated his thoughts on John Jones and his intentions for the heavyweight division.
Talking about, Dana doesn't respect this guy and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. I'm showing both of these guys the respect. They want to fight each other. It's a fight that they both want to happen. Total respect fight. I think they both deserve it. And, you know, at the end of the day, I get it. Everybody wants to see Tom Aspinall. But let me tell you what, after Stipe and John fight, whoever wins, the Aspinall fight's even bigger. And 100% going to retire after this fight. And then, listen, John Jones, I've said this, you know how I talk about John Jones and what I think of John Jones as a fighter. John Jones always loves to challenge himself. Moved up to heavyweight. don't know what John Jones will do after this fight, but I would be shocked if he didn't want to test himself against Aspinall.
Right. Don't you know?
Now listen, everything that I've been saying, right? These are facts. John Jones is ranked number 3 pound for pound in the world.
Fighting
That's
UFC.
the most ridiculous, embarrassing, stupid, know nothing about fighting ranking of all time. John Jones is still an active fighter. He beat Cyril Gane. He got injured. He was supposed to fight. He's going to fight again in November.
With Dana White repeatedly shutting down the idea of Jones vs Aspinall in favor of Jones vs Miocic later this year, fans and fighters alike have criticized this direction. Many feel Tom Aspinall, who earlier this past month defended his interim belt, deserves to fight John Jones for the undisputed title. Ben Askren and DC voiced their thoughts on the matter.
But then he doubles down and goes back and goes, I'm not doing anything but a true UFC championship fight. John just continues to kind of ignore it. He should, right? Tom Aspinall should stand firm on, I want to be the champion. I'm not doing nothing else.
Yeah, you know what? I almost feel like maybe John's got some dirt on Dana or something, because Dana generally would not put up with this type of behavior. He would say, and this is what the UFC's been founded on, where boxing wasn't, is we want the best guys to fight. We want to see who the actual best guy is. We don't want to, waste time with shenanigans. We don't want, to pad records to go to 40-0. We don't do that. That's what boxing does. In the UFC, we put the best guys in there and we see who wins. And so the fact that John is being, I don't know, allowed is the right term. But that Dana is playing along and letting him and Stipe fight. When Stipe is going to be close to 4 years by the time they ever fight.
No. Stipe will be 42 years old.
No, I'm sorry. 4 years since he's had a fight.
4 years, yes, 4 years.
Yes.
He'll be 42 years old.
And you have this young interim champion who he's a beast. I mean, he smashes people. And the fact that they won't put them in there together, and then there's this obvious. I would say good, maybe not quite guaranteed, but that John beats Stipe and then says, I'm done. So, I'm gone. And then you never get to see that.
Should the UFC scrap the Stipe Miocic fight in favor of Tom Aspinall?
No.
You want to see that fight?
I knew McDana was going to say something.
I mean, look, everybody knows my thoughts on Tom Aspinall by now. If you haven't seen it, go on my Instagram page. I made a big apology to Mr. Aspinall because I fucked up, right? But I owned it. You know what I mean? It cost me. It cost my pocket. I owned it. I apologize to Mr. Tom Aspinall. For me, like I said, he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in my eyes. Now, but you guys, you have probably different takes. We're going to give it to the audience. Yo, in that clip, we see Dana White defending John Jones and the amount of fights that he's had, coming from light heavyweight to heavyweight, beating Cyril Gane, getting the injury, then coming back. I mean, Dana said Tom Aspinall does not deserve nothing. When you finish here, go watch the full clip. He said Tom Aspinall does not deserve nothing. He said it's an embarrassment that Jones is number 3 in the pound for pound ranking. What do you think of this whole defense that Dana is putting on for Jones? Like he's gone on a tirade talking about I've been trying to change that disqualification, the 12-6 elbow thing, for years. That Jones ain't even trying to change that record like he is. Like he's gone on a whole tirade of protecting Jones to whoever will listen. I mean, Adrian would love a promoter that does that for him. I'm sure you would. You know what I mean? But yo, talk to me, right? Like, is this obsessive? This is crazy, right? I mean, I don't know. Talk.
I think firstly, shout out to Ben Askren. I didn't know he was such a slow, soft talker. But one thing he said that's very interesting is that Dana would not normally stand for this with other fighters, but with John Jones, he's letting him get away with it. So does John have some dirt on Dana? I don't think so. I don't know exactly why Dana is such a big fan of John Jones. We know the history of John Jones. Sure, he's a trouble fighter and everything, but it does spark as odd that Dana goes so hard for John. So hard. No pun intended. But so hard for John.
Wee-wees in his mouth, bro. He's fucking, yeah, I mean, definitely got his wee-wees in his mouth. He just needs, he's like, wee-wees. Needs to take those out, man. Yeah, I mean.
So I think the only thing that's an issue right now is exactly what was then said at the end of the clip is John fights Stipe and then possibly retires. I don't think that's going to happen. I agree with Dana where he says John's a fighter. John's looking to fight. If he fights Stipe, I think he will fight again. He might just be getting us all riled up because he's John Jones and he can. But I do agree with Dana. I think he definitely will fight after he fights Stipe. He's not going to retire. But I want to see him fight Stipe? What Dana said kind of convinced me there. Where Ben said, "Listen, here we put on the fights to see who's the best in the world. We're not trying to pad records, etc. But with who John Jones is, let him go and fight Stipe, sure, and then let him come and fight Tom Aspinall. If he doesn't, well, then he's always going to have an asterisk over his head. So, does he want that as the GOAT? Not likely. So he probably will come back and prove that he is the GOAT. If not, asterisk there is okay.
I can tell you right now that McDane does not have a problem with Jones going to fight Stipe as long as Jones vacate the title and let the rightful owner take hold of the title. And when you're done with Stipe, if you want to retire. People like Saga and all them other guys that will come through. But we know if you're done with Stipe, you want to come back and get that belt and prove yourself, then the belt's gonna be here, but he's allowed to have the belt. McDane, what do you think?
Right, so let's pen what Yao said about Dana doesn't have these kind of feelings about anybody else. I've got another video that I'm going to play in a second that I've just loaded up. Then let's pin what you've just said about me quite happy to let that fight happen as long as he vacates the title. Let's hear your thoughts first, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Rayo.
Sorry, what was that again? I was just fixing something on my tablet there for a moment. Sorry, man. It completely
let's hear your thoughts on this whole Dana White and Aspinall.
Sorry, yeah. Okay, this is. Sorry, I was just. So what I wanted to say was, first of all, this is a classic case of Dana White privilege. This is exactly what it is. This is 100% what it is. He's done the same. He's done the same with Conor McGregor. And I can't name the other fighters right now because I can't think of them. But there are a few guys that he's done it with. Yes, Anderson Silva was another one. Dana White privilege. That is what it is. If you bring money in and you're an exciting fighter and you are what drives the crowd and the audience, he will kiss your ass. He's like. I promise you, that's exactly what it is. And I also don't think John Jones is going to retire after fighting Miocic. I think he'll fight Aspinall, and then I think he will fight again after that if he wins. If he loses, I don't know.
What if Miocic beats him? Like people,
then he retires. Then I think he will
in that clip as well. The way Dana
or maybe not.
After this Miocic fight, the Aspinall fight gets even bigger. But I know
yes.
But he said, I know Miocic is going to retire, which is implying that I know Jones is going to win that fight.
Yes, that's again his favoritism.
That's really what Dana said. That I know Jones is going to win that fight against Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, and I also believe it. I think he'll also beat Miocic. I think he will. I think he will. And then he'll fight Aspinall. And then I don't think he will stop. I think he'll fight again, see what other challenge there is, and then maybe he'll retire after that. But if he loses to Aspinall, if they ever fight, I think he will retire after that fight. I don't think he'll fight again.
What if Miocic beats Jones? What if he has a freak accident
Aspinall then I don't know.
Against Curtis?
Then I don't think Jones will retire. I think he'll come back and try again. But then again, Jones is also he's a head case sometimes, and he might just be like
a whole load of
going down a spiral, and he'll never fight again.
So I get what you're saying. Right, so I'm just going to go off on an absolute rambling rant now. So, right, I get what you're saying. That throws a spanner in the works, but does it really? Right, so Stipe wins, Stipe retires. John Jones is still there, number one. He's only lost against Stipe. So that Tom Aspinall fight would still happen. Let's go back to what you said about I would be happy for that fight to happen as long as they vacate the belt. No, at this point, let him keep the fucking belt. Sorry, I keep swearing. Let him keep the belt. Let him go and fight Stipe. Let him be the reigning champion, and then let Tom go and do what he needs to do to unify the belts, because we all know that's going to happen. We all know that Tom is going to beat Jones. It's definitely written in the stars, and that is the future of the heavyweight division right there. Right now, let's go back and Rayo, bro, I love you. This is why I passed the torch on to you, brother. You started nailing it with Dana White privilege. And do you know what else done my head in with that clip? Why did that interviewer not quite? He just sat there and just let him say what he wanted. Never asked any questions on it. Never
didn't say anything.
He never said no.
Dana White privilege.
Bro,
I know
Dana White privilege.
I know you've got Dana White in your show.
Did you see that interview that brother gave Dana White all these nice monologue, welcome introduction?
Bro, if you're gonna say about the one where he walked off,
you know what? I can't bother to do this interview.
They came out after that and they said that was planned. It was staged. It was all to make a viral clip. The whole thing was fake. Like none of that was real.
See,
like,
I didn't hear that.
So what I'm saying is this dude went and challenged him like he should have done. Like if he had any integrity, you know what I mean? And actually said, yeah, wait a minute, come on, calm down. Like chill your beans. But he didn't. That really annoyed me that he didn't even question it at all. But anyway, let's get back to what my man Rayo was saying about this Dana White privilege and this next clip. So think about Dana White going off on his tangent at every press conference, at every interview, and every podcast, or whatever he's posting about why John Jones is the biggest, baddest man on the planet, and nobody does anything pound for pound, and blah, blah, blah. Roll that clip, McDean. There better be sound on this.
Roll that clip, McDean.
Is there anything coming on it? Can you hear? You can't hear anything.
We can see it, but
no, we can't see it. But we can't hear
it. What is going on?
We've got no audio.
Yeah, let me try and get this.
I can actually just imagine what he's saying
there. Bro, like, man goes deep. Right, let me just do a display capture instead. Then 1 second, let me just start playing it.
Yeah, with us people while McDean's loading that.
Yeah, but again, like I say, like he's going nuts all the time. Like it's actually
he's been on a tirade, bro. He's been on a warpath, man.
Right, someone in the chat said Conor versus Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, so Naz has just married his first wife, and now he's talking about Conor versus Trump. I don't know if we'll ever see that in a cage. I don't know if we'll ever see that in a cage.
Conor
doing Naz.
Conor versus Trump, but a pillow fight. Like that proper. Have you guys seen that PFC, that pillow fight championship?
Bro, I heard about it. I ain't actually seen it, but how do you train and spar for that?
Since he's come back, since the Pride days. Listen, if he was still fighting the caliber of fights from the Pride days, I wouldn't argue with you one bit.
Right.
He is so far from being the best.
Where do you have him? Huh? Would you put him top 5?
He hasn't fought anybody. The thing that you have to understand is if you take a guy like Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, BJ Penn, any of the guys that are in the top tier in the heavyweight, they're fighting the best fighters in the world 3 times a year.
That's why I think GSP, when he's been tested with Fitch.
Well, you just said, well, Anderson Silva was hurt. He's been out. GSP was just hurt now for a while, too.
Yeah, but
this guy hasn't lost. He just broke the record for most wins in the UFC, for most title defenses. He's got, he's moving up and down in 2 different fucking weight classes. Do you think George St. Pierre could go up to 85? I don't even want St. Pierre to go to 85.
Why not?
Because he's a huge star, and I don't want to see him go to 85. He's doing just fine at 170. Anderson Silva, I believe he can go to 85 and could compete at heavyweight, too. He's that fast, that talented, and that good.
He is.
Pound for pound, best fighter in the world, boxing, pinochle, any other fighter sport out there, he's the best. I don't know how anybody can debate that. It's crazy to me.
The GSP fight,
and anybody to put Fedor in the #1 pound for pound in the world spot, It just makes no sense to me.
It has nothing to do with the politics of him not being in the UFC or whatnot. I think.
But how can you give him the respect when he hasn't fought the guys? I mean, these guys are fighting 3 times a year, the best fighters in the world, but you're going to give him the respect?
Same stuff as always with Uncle Dana. Yeah, I mean, like literally the same stuff as he always does. Let me remove that from the screen.
Question.
Like,
do you think he'd also be the best at power slap?
He might be. Yeah, I mean, like he's got long arms, bro. He could get all the way back to last week and come round and crack you. I mean, like, but dude, like, it's literally mirror for mirror how he talks about John Jones now. How can anybody question this? He's the pound for pound #1 in the world. He just be this guy, be this guy. And that's how he used to go on about Anderson Silva. Like, Rayo nailed it when he started talking about that before. Like, bro, like this is just Dana White mentality of when he's got a favorite, that's it. Nobody else's opinion matters. And he is right and everybody else is wrong. I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong. Yeah, I mean, that is the mentality.
You know, fuck all about fighting.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I mean,
I am the
UFC. Knows it. That's it. Like, bro.
Yeah. Dana.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Look, I don't know. The fight that I want to see, Aspinall versus Jones, and that's still going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a tough fight for Aspinall. And Aspinall, I think, is got enough tool set in the box to compete with John Jones. It's a mystery fight. I so much almost want Stipe out of the way. Like, make Aspinall the backup for that fight. He should be the backup fighter.
You already said after 304 he is.
Yeah. So, like, you know, the fight gods need what they need to do, man, to give us fight fans what we really want to see, what we're yearning for. Because this Stipe fight, he's not really doing it for me, man. You know what I mean? I want whoever wins can then go and see Stipe. Like, Stipe, just sit down for a minute, man. Let these two gentlemen get to it. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? I hope that's what the chat want to see. I hope that's what all the fight fans want to see. There's no point leaving like a young, hungry interim champion. Like, he's there, he's ready, he's ready to take over the division. Like, he's ready to go. He's knocked a lot of people out on the way in, and while defending, I think he's going to do the same thing because he's just going to up his level. So that's why I think he's going to go on from here.
As Leroy said there, yeah, I was showing the clip of when Dana was talking about how important activity is for a fighter. But my main point of showing that clip was to show his behavior and his attitude and the way he comes across when he's talking about a certain fighter that he thinks is the best. Like, but yeah, and again, as we've said many, many times, activity is important. So that even feeds into this conversation too, where we look at the activity of John Jones and Stipe and Tom Aspinall and go, right, well, what's happening here? Yeah, I mean,
exactly. Like, the activity is
the
crazy.
Most
like, man,
fighters up against each other.
You know, man's defending an interim title, bro. Like,
wild
to be doing that at heavyweight. You can do that. Maybe you can get away with a flyweight, bantamweight, where there ain't that much power. But to be making an interim champion do that at heavyweight, where you know one death touch can literally turn off everything, and the man still went out and done it in impressive fashion. I don't know what else they want from this guy. You know what I mean? Just make him champion already. That's what I say. Let's move on of the topic here, and then we got the next one right here to play. Let's hit this.
Following Francis Ngannou's dominant performance over Cyril Gane back in January 2022, Ngannou vacated his UFC heavyweight belt amidst contract disputes. Francis then signed with the PFL, which also saw him become the chairman of the PFL Africa. Now, nearly 3 years after his last MMA bout, Francis' next bout is official. The Predator will take on PFL's 2023 heavyweight champion, Renan Ferreira, on the 19th of October. The location is yet to be confirmed, but many are speculating the event will take place in Saudi Arabia. What do you guys think? How does Francis fare against the Brazilian?
Bro, first of all, gonna wish Francis the condolences again because he just recently lost his son, and I can't imagine that happening to anyone. And the way to have a champion mindset to recover and come back and want to come back and compete against Renan Ferreira, the person that is already booked a fight with. So that's real honorable, admirable, and that's what champions do. Yao, this fight, like Leroy asked at the end there, like how do you see it going down, and do you think Francis uses the tragedy that's happened to him as a conduit, as a motivation to really go in there and put in the performance after such a disappointing performance against Anthony Joshua? Because we have to mention that as well.
I'm just glad this fight is happening. I think, like you said, first off, condolences to Francis on having recently lost his son. But after seeing how Renan Ferreira won the PFL title last year and how he came out and whooped Ryan Bader's ass, that was crazy. No one saw that coming. He was the only PFL fighter to win on the night. So,
yep.
Having seen that and having seen where Renan Ferreira's come from, although he's got a far less star-studded or experienced career than Francis, I think it's going to be a good fight, a nice, long, rangy fight. Someone who's actually going to challenge Francis in terms of height and possibly speed. Now, coming to Francis, he's been doing a lot of non-fight, non-MMA work, specifically in the cage. He's been doing a lot of outreach work, a lot of work in Africa and developing MMA from the grassroots. We've seen that they've now started PFL Africa, like you said, and they had a very big ceremony a few weeks ago where they launched, and they had Sabadu Sai there and a lot of other African fighters. So with all that work that he's been doing, the question is then, how focused and ready is he for MMA? At this point, no one really knows. I haven't seen him grappling since he beat Cyril. There's no footage of him doing anything MMA specific. It's just generally been boxing. So I don't know how ready he is for an MMA fight. Maybe he's looking at Renan Ferreira and saying, well, Renan might not be as experienced as me, so let me go in there and take his head off. I've now got extra power, skill, speed from boxing. I don't know, but I'm just glad to see him back in the cage and against someone that is going to hopefully give us as good a fight as we're hoping, in the form of Renan Ferreira. So I'm excited about this one. Finally getting to see Francis Ngannou fight again.
Adrian, as Yao said there, do you think, and you're right, because we haven't seen him training, we haven't seen him doing any kind of MMA. And as Yao said there, do you think he's ready, or do you think he's just honoring the contract agreement that he already signed with Ferreira, and he's just thinking, look, I've made this guy wait too long. Let me just go and honor, and whatever happens. Or do you think he's really taking this fight seriously? Like I said, we haven't seen him training, and he's just coming off a horrendous knockout by Anthony Joshua. Like he flatlined him, and bro. And tell me what you think.
I don't know. Look, he definitely has the experience over Renan, and but still, you shouldn't take things lightly, like you say. If he's just following obligations of a contract and he's like, okay, let me just get in there and get it done. I've got more experience. You shouldn't take it lightly. I mean, the guy's not he's not a walkover. I think it's the first time Francis Ngannou is going to be coming up against a guy that's that big. And I mean, he's bigger than him. He's taller than him. Even probably in size as well. So, he needs to prepare for it. And if he hasn't been active, because I haven't really seen much of him on social media or anything, to be honest. I haven't really been following. And if he's quiet and he's not preparing, that's not how you want to go into a fight. And then also coming off a loss, a knockout loss like that, and then with the things happening in his personal life and things like that, mentally, is he there? Some guys are capable of just like going zombie mode and turning off to everything, and they can go in there and get it done. But I don't think Francis Ngannou is like that. He's more of a softer, compassionate guy. So I'm sure his mental game, his mental space is probably, he's probably had to work on it and had to get over a few things. So is he mentally ready to even get back into a fight? But let's see. You never know. I mean, the guy, he's done great. He's done great things already. So he could definitely come in there, give us a great show, prove why he's one of the baddest men on the planet, and you know he can do it again.
Magdane, you saw the clip. What's your take on again where it's happening? Because we saw Francis complain about what the fight makers made him do. You know, he actually said he nearly fell asleep in the back room over there in Riyadh when he was, you know, fighting when he was about to fight Anthony Joshua, and some of the other things that they made him do, just delaying,
you know what,
and delaying stuff.
You know, for me, like, it's just making you can say, oh, this happened and this is why this happened and this and that, and you make up excuses and you try and validate the things that went wrong and all of that. But at the end of the day, you're a professional. You know, you signed up for it, and no matter how things go, you need to adapt and make your move. Otherwise, you know, you get knocked out if you're not, you know. So yeah, I think he's making excuses. He should just accept it and be like, okay, cool, I failed, I got beat, and move on. You know, I mean, that's what I did, but it's not on the same kind of level. But to experience something like that, just get on, get over it. Don't make excuses for it. Learn from it and go move on. Like, there's no point. Why go back and say, oh, this because of that? Like, it doesn't matter. It's past. It's finished. It's over. That's how it went down. What can you do about it?
So sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, man.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. I mean, everything happens for a reason, and you got to learn from it. There's no point in saying like I was almost fell asleep in the back and all of this. Like, no one cares. No one cares. It's over already. You know, we've moved on. So yeah, he should be focusing on getting back into the cage and being like, Renan Ferreira, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm ready for this. Like, where's his like drive and that? You know, like that's where he should be. He shouldn't be thinking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Jordan, Adrian's pretty savage with the synopsis he just put down. But is this the savage mindset that Francis needs to get in there with Ferreira at this point? Because that guy got a touch of death, and we see what he did to Bader.
I like how he started off by saying that Ngannou's a compassionate man, and then was like, "But I ain't," and then just went in on him.
He absolutely savaged him, bro.
No, yeah, nah,
bro, fucking hell. Okay.
Nah, like Rayo's right too. Like, again, yeah, you're making excuses. He's taking his learnings from that. Rayo, I'm not sure if you've seen the Joe Rogan interview that he's been on recently with him, and he talks on that about it all and how he was in there for hours, and he's like, I'm like, his learnings from it is I'm not letting that happen again. Like, the promotion did kind of.
It reminds me of what's that guy? They call him the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Reminds me of him. That's who it reminds me of.
So even Joe said, yeah, some of these promotions have got dirty tricks, and that's obviously one of the things that they've kind of pulled on him. But the way he doesn't even remember the knockout punch. Like, obviously you ain't even gonna remember that. You know what I mean? Like, he said he doesn't remember from being in his corner between rounds. Like, he said he was talking away, and he said something was just off. He didn't feel right, and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? We've talked.
Well, that's what happens when you get a concussion, eh?
Yeah, because I think he got dropped. He got dropped in the first round as well, didn't he? And then he obviously went in and got finished in the second. So it was probably the crack that made him go a bit funny rather than the wait time and being tired and all the rest of it. Like you say, sometimes that could just be excuses. As for his mindset going into this one, you know what I mean? Like, rest in peace to his son and commiserations and like all the respect due to be coming back so soon. Compassion's not a weakness. And I think something like this is one of those things that would add to the strength of Francis Ngannou. I'm pretty sure he even said himself, like, this one's for Kobe. Yeah, I mean, this next one is for him. The way he spoke about the whole, like, how he never broke down crying. Like, I'm sitting there almost crying listening to it. You know what I mean? You start thinking about like your own family, your own kids, and you start like applying it to your own life and thinking about what that guy must be going through and having the empathy towards it. And bro, it was heartbreaking, but he spoke about it not easily, but openly. Yeah, it was crazy how he spoke about it, and I think it's something that he's going to be able to use going into this next fight. He's going to be able to take the strength from that and go forward and push through it. But he is coming up against a monster. Yeah, I mean, Ferreira is a mean man himself, and it's going to be a difficult fight. Whether the timeout, like we've seen with Conor, taking that timeout in boxing affected him coming back into MMA because he'd focused too much on a boxing camp rather than an MMA camp. But Francis was always a striker too. Don't get me wrong. We've seen like mythical Francis when he went up against Gane, but he's more of a striker, and so is Ferreira. So it's going to be a striking match. Will the boxing skills and time that he spent on that help with his footwork and his striking? But then how's he going to apply that? Because obviously the stance is different. How's he then going to apply that? And Ferreira does have takedowns and submissions too.
Exactly. I was just going to say that for me, his jiu-jitsu is better than Gane's. So
100%.
Francis going in wrestling mode.
Better than Gane's. Gane ain't got jiu-jitsu.
Gane ain't got jiu-jitsu. You can't be just taking the man down and thinking it's over there because you get wrapped up very, very quickly. Please continue.
But again, like I just wanted to finish on that piece of whether the skill set will be affected by it. Like I think you can take pros from it, but yeah, it's going to have some cons. Like he's given himself now, what is it, October the fight's going to be happening into. He's got say 8 weeks out from here, but he's already known about it for a little while. So even though we never really see much content of Francis training. We've seen bits and bobs. He's quietly in the back doing what he needs to do, and I think that's probably what's going to be going down this time as well.
Yeah, generally Francis generally stays in shape. He's never really, even when he's not fighting. Generally, it's not like somebody that just puts on blobs of weight for no reason. You know what I mean? He's generally there or thereabout, and the man always comes in full 265 whenever he gets on the scales, man. So, I think weight wise and it's more about being in camp and being mentally sharp. Like I'm mentally savage, like Adrian been just explaining to us. That's the mindset he has to go in there with.
Yeah, I just want to say something about like what you said about compassion and so on. Like I think his biggest challenge for this fight is going to be his mental game because of everything that's been going that he's been going on him. And like what I mean by him being like someone that's very compassionate, it means he's someone that's going to go and think about it and process it, and he's going to try and get through it. So the thing is he going to be ready? Like, is he going to be completely processed through whatever it is he's going through by the time he needs to get into the fight? Because he needs to have a clear mind when going in there. It's difficult to fight when you're conflicted already. But like you say, he could be using everything that's happened as his new drive, and then thinking about his family and all of these things, and then that's where it all clicks together. Because that's a different kind of emotion and motivation when you start thinking about like your family and those closest to you. So it can always like just give you that extra kick in the arse that you need.
Yeah, man, 100%. As we draw to a close, people, make sure you, man, are hitting that like button. You're following Adrian Sanchez on Instagram. You're following the Rambling Dad. You're following Yao, the Kick Him in the Head King podcast. Make sure you go over there and supporting all those channels, people. Salute to everybody that's
just very quickly before you move on from Ngannou. Did you see that he is now an actor as well? He is playing a gladiator in the movie Rebel Moon.
Oh,
I saw the clip. He's looking like he's busy punching a wall dressed as a gladiator, and then they come up to him and they talk to him, and he turns. He says something, and they speak to him some more, and then they walk.
That was very dramatic. That was a dramatic embodiment of that entire scene there, man. Like you got me hooked.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
I also want to check that out, man.
Yeah, man. But before we go, I wanted to draw attention to a couple of the fights on the EFC 116 card that's coming up tomorrow. Big card. People, we did a video on it yesterday on the Head Kick podcast. Make sure you get over there and give it a watch. But we're going to talk about the main and the co-main. In your opinion, McDane, looking at these two guys, Yako Duplessis, You know where he trains. You know who he trains with. You know he's got a bunch of killers in his team, and he's another one of them that wants to bring the belt to CIT, because all these guys have won belt and brought it to the gym. Cameron Simon, you name it, they've done it, right? And then we got Luke Michael over here, right? He's fought for everything. He's had to get he's fought through injury, adversity, came back, defended the title, didn't go his way. Now he has an opportunity to get back in there and fight in a vacant middleweight title against Jaco du Plessis. It's a big anticipated fight. Like, how are you looking at it? What you drawing from it, and what do you think is going to happen?
You make solid points there about their motivation. So obviously you got Jaco du Plessis, who's wanting to bring that belt back to the gym. You know what I mean? For the team, for the glory, for all of it. But then you've got Luke Michaels, who, as you just explained his story, has then just lost the title defending it to a man who then walked away. Like, bro, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, like, that's gonna make
that could happen
think,
in the Stipe fight.
Yeah,
I
know, like, exactly, bro. But like, I don't know. Like, I think from the way that that's going, it's a different kind of level of you just like defended that after coming back from injury and being out for so long for the man to just walk off, and now you've been left with this vacant title that you've now got another crack at. And I feel like Luke's going to be coming back to claim it, and it's going to be that drive and that motivation that'll maybe push him that little bit further to get it done.
Yeah, man. Well said, Magdalene. Adrian, as somebody who's competed in the X, you know the energy when these cards are like this. There's so much at stake. These two guys, they're going at it. The weighing, the stare down, the energy between these two guys. What's been said back and forth? What's your take on all of it? And how do you see it panning out?
First of all, Luke Michael's a head case. He, like, no disrespect. Like, I mean, this is a professional opinion, and you ask my opinion, so I give it. I think he gets, when I say head case, I think he gets in his own head too much. So he tends to like intimidate, and he's like, and he starts to flaunt himself a little bit and whatnot. And then he chokes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Jaco's those boykies from CIT, and he's been like sparring and training with Dricus, and I think he's gonna come in there and he's gonna give Luke Michael a little bit of a shock. But I do believe that Luke Michael does have the ability. He's very, very strong. He has the ability to win. But I don't know. The composure for me, Jaco's composure just gives me other thoughts. So we'll have to see. It's going to be a good fight. I'm actually excited for this title fight. Like the previous one, the Igwe and Humphrey fight. That was also one I was very excited to see. So this one, the same. I want to see who's going to win. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, man. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. And from a fighter's point of view, you made some points there, because these are things that as fight fans will probably miss when it comes to, like, energies going into a fight. Maybe what happened in a press conference that went over our head. Your opponent is actually taking hold of that and holding that and probably going to use it against you at some point.
Yeah.
In the press. So these are things that probably we don't really realize is an extra kind of ammunition for the opponent to use against you. So thank you for that insight there. Yao, let me come to you. I mean, Adrian said a lot there in terms of what's the parallels between Jaco and Luke Michael. You know both guys. You know what they've done in the game. You've seen what they fought. We've seen Jaco in there with a Diego Bandu, which is one of the scariest middleweight around, and we saw the composure. When you mentioned composure there, we saw the composure that he dealt with him in that fight. And then we've seen Luke like go in there, choke people, like grapple them, just maul people. And that's his game. He just mauls the opponents he has in front of him. What's your whole take on the whole fight, brother? How you think it pans out? Who's coming out on top?
I'm going to turn to the bookmakers and go with what they're saying, simply because
I like that. I like that. I tried to catch you. I like that.
I saw you.
That's a nice 12.
Look, I think like Ray said, it's going to be a good fight. Actually, both Ray and McDane said, reason being, Luke is coming to stake his claim to say, what you saw happen in that fight was not what you think you saw, because I won that fight. As Luke says, he feels like he won that fight because it should have been stopped. So he's coming back to say, I actually did win that fight. Let me show you again, but this time I'm not going to leave it to the ref to not let it be stopped, and then something happens. So I agree 100%. He's coming back to show that. And you've got Jaco du Plessis, 4-0, undefeated, trying to keep that O, coming out of CIT, training with the world UFC middleweight champion Dricus still knocks du Plessis. He's got a lot riding on his shoulders because he trains with champions every single day. So the individual and personal stakes in this fight are so high that it makes it tantalizing. But the bookmakers are saying a du Plessis win, which is interesting because if you look at how Luke fought in the last fight, he can definitely come in the first round and possibly finish Jaco. So for the bookmakers to have it, I think it's fairly.
You think the odds should have been closer? You think the odds should have been closer?
I think the odds should have been closer. I think the odds should have been closer because it is a fairly close fight, despite Luke's record 6-5. Despite that, it is still a closer fight than what the odds are making it.
I agree.
As Yao just said there, he thinks the odds should have been closer, and Ryan said it. Luke's strong. He's a strong individual, and you can see it when he fights. Like,
dude, I heard stories. About that guy.
Please share one or two with us.
I trained like when I was trying to I was training at one or two gyms down the side, and I went to a previous gym that he trained at, and I heard stories about I used to throw the guys around on the mat and like freaking toss them around, and like he would like get really like worked up and like properly keep Owens a go. So like I heard stories, and he's strong, and everyone says he's like, yeah, he's beastly. So it's good. I want to see. Jaco's also got it. Like he's also got that strength. And that Bandu that he fought joined the CIT soon after they fought anyway.
Yes.
That's the thing. I saw that. So it's going to be good. I'm excited for this fight. I want to see. It's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, man.
But there's going to. I just hope Luke's not going to be like upset or like if something goes wrong. I hope for his sake that he does get a win, because like he's been so unlucky in his career with injuries and missed opportunities and chances and stuff. So I do hope for that sake. But you never know. You never know what can happen. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, man. It's MMA. It's an MMA fight, man. It's combat sport, man.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, man. And we are going to be watching that fight, and we are going to be having the winner and the loser at some point when the fight's done. We're going to be talking to them and bringing them to the people. At some point, somebody's going to lift that title, man. And the announcer of champions, Hotso Ramopo, man, he's going to be doing the Lord's work over there. Now we got Big Shadrach, Blami Nsua. He's going to be fighting his opponent here, and we saw how things went for him in his last fight. It didn't go well. All right, we heard Sanchez earlier on. Yeah, Adrian said it to the people. You can't complain. You can't make excuses. You can't. But we also heard reasons why that fight might have gone that way. But in this fight, Yao, I want to hear from you first. How you think it goes for Shadrach in this fight here, and what do you think is going to change from the last fight to this fight?
A lot is going to change from the last fight to this fight, specifically for Shadrach. Why? Because in his last fight, he fought an opponent, as we talked about, that was at least 8 kgs over. He took the fight nonetheless because he said, look, I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to be on this card. I'm not trying to give up. this opportunity. And unfortunately, we have an opponent that much bigger. And I was standing right there where the whole debacle with the low blow happened right before the knockout. When you have a situation like that, it's not an easy loss, but he's come back stronger and learned from all of that. Now he's fighting Cold Steel Kulekani Hlongwa, who is a very, very powerful opponent. He's another little mauler out of KZN. But I think in this one, he might, no, not might. Blamby definitely has the edge. I think where it comes to the skill, who he's trained with, we know that the Hlongwa brothers essentially are self-trained out in KZN. They have their own gym that they run out there, whereas you've got Blamby out training at House of Tinkerbell with the former middleweight champion, JP Kruger. So I think all those factors do kind of come in, although Kulekani's brother Nzwandile was fighting out in UAE. He does have international experience, so it's not like he's training with nobodies. But Blamby just seems to have that edge. We just saw the documentary coming out about the story of his life, where Blamby comes from, which is absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to Blamby. But I think this one definitely is going to go Blamby's way. Probably in the second round, I think he manages either KO or a submission. Unfortunately, I don't think Cold Steel will come through on this one.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, man. Yao. Rosie, I never said nothing of the sort. Please do not antagonize this brother on me, man. You know what I mean? I don't want no smoke with Blammy, bro. You know what I mean?
Wet tracky.
I don't want to smoke with Blammy, man. You know what I mean? Jesus. No. McDane, let me come to you first, McDane. I mean, as we said, it's coming back from a loss. It was with us on one of our DUSD shows, and you see how he looks at the game and how he perceives it, and it's not making any excuses for his last performance, and he just wants to get back in there and try and get back in the win column. But you know, what do you make of his whole mindset, having talking to him, and the way he's prepared into this fight, going into this fight through social media and stuff?
Yeah, like I said Yao said a second ago, was obviously the how he's taken it from the last one and the circumstances that went into it. Obviously, there was the low blow, and then obviously he took the loss. But from when we spoke to him, and I even said to him on the show as well, like he seemed like he was in a good headspace about it. He was in a good mindset. He's gone away. He's worked on what he needed to work on, and all he can do now is go in there and prove it. You know what I mean? Go in and get the job done is all he can go in and do. So I'm interested in seeing that fight, see how it plays out, see if he can get the win back. Yet to be remained.
Yeah, it's a mad one. Adrian, do you think he's coming back too soon? Do you think, because we're not talking maybe lightweight like in your division, we're talking middleweight here. These guys can crack. Do you think he's coming back too soon?
I don't think so. I think he's had enough time to recalibrate and rethink things. He's definitely motivated, and for him to immediately just like get up and be like, I want to get back in there, not worry about the last fight and so on, shows that he's eager and he's motivated. So yeah, I don't think it's too late. He's in there. I'm sure he's probably been putting in the work and try and like being really driven and motivated to get things to be better and to improve, because he is a hard worker. I follow him on Instagram. I see his posts and so on. So yeah, I don't think it was too soon, and I think he's going to do well. They definitely. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Ilongwe at all. I mean, he's also a beast of a man. I've met him a couple of times. He's way bigger than me. Nice guy as well. Great fighter. But I think this is also a fight that they're giving to Blamby, just to give him some confidence again, get his momentum back. I mean, coming off a loss like that, you need to get back onto your feet nicely. And both of them are coming off bad losses, so I think it's a good fight for both of them to get back into the winning column. But let's see. It's what happens. I don't like making predictions unless it's like blatantly saying like you know this
No.
guy.
I get you, and
you know what I mean.
I get you, and 100%. I get you, man, and I don't want to put you in that position either, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on the mindset. And
he's got to see these man cage
I don't think at all that. Yeah, I don't think he's. Yeah, no, I don't think it's early at all. You know, if he feels like he's mentally over it and he's ready to get back in there, then flip and let him go. He's obviously confident enough to get back in there, so go for it. You need that confidence. If he's worried and he's questioning himself and he's saying, then I wouldn't. You'd need more time. Definitely.
Fair enough.
He didn't come across like that anyway, so he seems like he is in the right place for it.
No, that's why I say 100%. So I don't think it's too soon at all.
Okay. Hold on. Leroy has a comment here. When I get to SA, I look forward to Adrian giving me that hiding I've been asking for. Okay. Well, you promised him a hiding,
waiting for you, Leroy. I'm keeping it warm for you, bro.
Chuck a couple of digs in for me as well, mate.
Yeah, man.
I will do. You want liver kicks? I'll give you liver kicks.
Yes, mate. All the liver kicks.
People, you see,
my favorite.
You see the link
he's
there.
He's a tall dude. Like, you're gonna need to bring him down a peg or two. Like,
yeah, boy, maybe them receding airlines, but yeah, boy, they fall all the way back.
That's a target. That's a shiny target right there on either side of the head. Yeah, kick him in the head.
Leroy will come back looking like Yao, bro. You know what I mean? He's gonna come back looking like Yao, man, with that Yao haircut. Jesus. Okay, people will see the link in the chat. the links in the chat, people. Make sure you follow Adrian Sanchez on his socials. As you can see, the brother's mindset is savage, man. He holds no prisoners. You know what I mean? Says it as it is, and that's why we love having him on the show. Yao, as always, big love to you. Thank you so much for pulling up. It's another wonderful show. I'm my brother McDane. Big talk on Aspinall today, you know what I mean? And I think I'm more than showed who's gonna be riding shotgun with me.
You're showing your true colors now, mate. Your tail between your legs and you're running. No.
I got a question. I want to know: are we gonna do a watch along? Are we doing a watch along for the Adesanya Dricus fight, Ola?
Oh yeah. Yes.
We're doing a watch along,
and that's one fight I do not want to see.
If I'm invited, I'm wearing all my South African colors.
Only if Mama Sanchez comes along again.
I'm wearing all my green colors.
Well, you got open invite, bro. Come on, you know you got open invite.
You got to bring your brother, Mama Sanchez.
I promise.
The whole family around.
I promise I won't. Yeah, I promise I won't talk. I promise I won't talk rubbish about Adesanya.
You've got to, bro. That's why I want the whole family there. You've got to bring them all. Give it all to him. Stick it right to him.
I promise I won't.
I don't believe their promises, Sanchez.
I promise I won't.
I'm not believing those promises you're making, man. You know what I mean? Boy, those are fake. Like Trump was saying, that's fake news, man. Fake promises. Hey, your people, you hear it? The promises
I've got one question too. Adrian, what are you saying, bro? When are you getting back in there?
I have recently got given the clearance to get back into the cage. That was last week, Thursday.
That's good.
So that's cool. We already looking at maybe getting back in there in November, so we can finish the year on a good note. So yeah, once now that I'm healthy again from this flu. I was actually getting my training and my routine and stuff going nicely, and then I got sick, so I had to just delay it a little bit. But now that I'm feeling better, we're going straight into a nice camp. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's. I'm looking at my calendar now. It's we've got about 13 weeks till the November 14th. So yeah, that's the date we're aiming for.
Okay. Nice, mate.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know which EFC that is. I think it's EFC. Could be EFC 120.
120, because they usually have 10 events a year.
Yeah, could be EFC 120.
Yeah, man, that's around the corner still. You know what I mean? With the way
November, it's 119.
With the way
119.
with the way the time is moving, that's gonna be here before you know it, man. So
yeah, man, and like you know, with the last fight and the knockout and everything, like
yeah,
I just want to get back in there and fix the loss and get back to winning ways so we can focus on that goal that I've set for myself. Because right now we have to take a step back and
I mean,
rebuild
respectfully,
ourselves a little bit.
There's nothing you haven't came through before.
Eh? Oh, getting knocked? No, it's
no. That's what I'm saying. Respectfully,
out,
it's not like anything you've not came through before. You've lost in the past, and you've came through it, and you've made
adversity. Yes, I see it. It's just
grown.
another adversity that we need to get over. And I've been, like you say, I've lost before, and I can come back again. But this time, it's it was a challenge. I mean, I had my moment, and I thought about it, and I had to process it, and it was challenging, but I feel like I'm over it now, and I'm ready to get back in there. And
man, it'll be so nice to see you get back in there, bro. It'll be so nice.
And I proved a lot about proved a lot to myself about my own character, you know, because it's something I really want to do, and it's where I really want to be. So even getting knocked out like that hasn't taken that urge, that drive, and that eagerness to get there. So
that's the fucking game. Yes, mate.
Let's fucking go, bro. I'm not dead yet, and you're not gonna kill me. So let's fucking go.
Yeah, man. Let's get back in there, man. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Savage mindset, like we said, man. You know what I mean, people. And if you're not following Adrian Sanchez, make sure you follow him on his socials, man. He's getting, he's looking at that card there in November. And he's trying to get back in there, man, get back in the win column. And we're going to be seeing more of him. He's just invited himself to the next 305 that we're going to be doing, Easy versus DDP. Adrian is going to be here with us, and he promises not to say a goddamn thing about Easy. We're going to see how true them promises are.
I don't promise.
Personally, I'm not holding my breath. Look at Yao. He's self-confessing already. He's not promising. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a painful one for me, man. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be
Leroy's comment. Did you see Leroy's comment? I love you, Leroy. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Leroy's an idiot. This is what I'm trying to say. Leroy's an idiot, man.
I like you too, bro. I like you too, bro.
Oh my God, Leroy. Are you trying to moonwalk out of that gut check that the man's got warmed up for you, man?
He heard leather kick and he was like, bro.
He's the only guy.
I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing. I see what you're doing.
You gotta expose Leroy a little bit whenever that again. He's playing that game, man.
Yeah, you can't escape the pain. You can't escape the pain.
All right, people, on that bombshell, we're going to leave it right there. Big up to every single one of you that's been with us right through the show. Salute to every single one of you. If you're new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you're supporting the YouTube channels, the Fight Week Show, the Rambling Dad, Head Kick Pod. Go follow Adrian Sanchez on his socials, and make sure that you're liking all of our content and sharing it out there so people can know what we do over here, man. And up onto the next video. Assala, peace, people. We're out. Salute.
Peace.
The Fight Week Show.
Hey guys, this is John Anik from the UFC. You're watching the Fight Week Show. Please subscribe.